Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Joy Newsroom. We're coming to you live from our studios here at Kokomlimle in Accra. We are live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125 and around the world on myjoyonline.com. My name is Sheila Sechi. Coming up, NPP national delegates settle debate on who to lead the party after material times as they approve more than 50 other amendments at the crucial National Delegates Conference.
Yes, the new patriotic party is ready. The new patriotic party will use this conference as a tool in our attempt to recapture power in 2028.
National Director General of the National Cyber Security Authority handed a 2-week suspension by the presidency for using a uniformed military officer as a personal bodyguard. Relief at last for thousands of residents along the coast in the Volta region as government cuts sought for phase 2 of the Blokusu Coastal Protection Project. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Please stay tuned for details. The news in detail. The New Patriotic Party has passed a landmark resolution affirming that the national chairman and not the flag bearer or sitting president shall be recognized as the official leader of the party at all times. The decision came during the party's National Delegates Conference held at the University of Ghana Stadium, where over 5,000 delegates reviewed more than 56 constitutional proposals. The party believes the reforms will position it for a more unified, inclusive and electorally competitive future. Esther Isi Nkrumah has highlights from the high stakes.
56 proposed amendments were decided on at the NPP's National Delegates Conference. One of the biggest was Motion 35, finally settling the age-old debate over who leads the party. For years, this question sparked confusion and internal tensions, especially during transitions. Some believe the presidential candidate should lead. Others point to the sitting president. A third group argued that the national chairman should be the leader. The delegates have now spoken. The chairman will lead the party at all material times.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Delegates also voted to abolish the special electoral college.
Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
In a major change, the party also upheld calls for anyone in government to resign from party office and vice versa.
This amendment, Chairman, clarifies the process for removal of appointed officers. Submitted.
Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
2 motions were, however, rejected. First, a proposal to amend Article 730, which sought to give regional executive power to appoint supervisors for polling stations and electoral areas election.
Those in favor of this motion, say aye. Those against, say nay. This time, the nays have it.
The second rejected motion to reduce the youth age gap from 40 to 35 was also shut down.
I am taking this vote again. Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. Nay! The nays have have it.
Both former presidents produced by the NPP were absent from the conference after earlier calling for a postponement. However, Organizing Committee Chair Joseph Osewusu says the latter gave their blessing following the clarification.
I was invited to the National Council meeting at which that matter was considered. The vast majority of the members didn't think that it was appropriate to reschedule. So the decision was that let's send a delegation to him to explain to him why we cannot reschedule the meeting. And I think that he has accepted that in good faith.
General Secretary Justin Frimpong-Kodia says this is the boost the party needed as they prepare for the next general election.
Let our answer be loud. Let it be clear. Let it be bold. Yes, yes, the new Patriotic Party is ready. The new Patriotic Party will use this conference as a tool in our attempt to recapture power in 2028.
The next big step, the flag bearer race in January 2026. Hopeful Ose Educhum says he's in to win.
I have no time to complain. Whether it's from bottom up, top down.
You're ready.
I'm ready and I'll win this nomination by the grace of God.
Former flag bearer and current aspirant Dr. Baumia believes it's possible for the party to get back into power.
With unity and consistency, we can regain the trust of Ghanaians. If we are fractured and at each other's throats, none of us can cross over and lead us to fulfill this party's purpose.
Minority leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin says the NPP can recover and rise back again after their 2024 loss.
We are a party of destiny, but that destiny will slip from our hands if we allow disunity, bitterness, anger, and self-interest to consume us.
He adds that the party must rally around those being persecuted by the current NDC government.
Our motto moving forward from today should be, touch one, touch all. When one of us is touched, all of us must rise.
The Director General of the National Cyber Security Authority, Divine Selassie Agbeti, has been handed a 2-week suspension following a directive from the Office of the President. The suspension is linked to an ongoing investigation into allegations of misconduct involving the use of an uniformed military officer as a personal bodyguard, an act seen as a breach of recent government directive. This comes just days after the government of Ghana announced the withdrawal of military escorts from former ministers, business people and civilians not entitled to such protection. There is more in this report.
The suspension of the Cyber Security Authority boss follows a directive issued by the Minister for Communications. The suspension is part of an ongoing investigation into claims that the NCSA head engaged the services of the military officer without the necessary authorization. A letter signed by the Executive Secretary to the President, Dr. Callistus Mahama, and dated July 15, 2025, expressed the Presidency's strong disapproval. It described the Director General's actions as inappropriate and a source of embarrassment to the government. Government sources suggest that further disciplinary measures could be taken depending on the findings of the internal investigations currently underway. The withdrawal of military protection for former, current and public officials and private individuals was announced in a statement released by the Minister for Defense, Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah, on Tuesday, 15th July 2025. Dr. Boamah explained that the move is part of government's broader reset agenda, which seeks to reinforce discipline, uphold professionalism, and ensure greater accountability within the Ghana Armed Forces.
And in other stories, traditional rulers across the country have been tasked to find lasting solutions to the long-standing chieftaincy disputes in their regions. Speaking during a legal training, representatives of the National and Regional House of Chiefs, as well as directors from the Ministry of Local Government in Accra, Director of the Judicial Service Training Institute, Justice Amadou Tanko, mentioned Fast-tracking chieftaincy disputes will facilitate peace, stability and national development. Mamavi Sefakote has more in this report.
The two-day training session at the Institute of Local Government Studies in Accra for 16 legal counsels from the national and regional houses of chiefs was aimed at strengthening the capacity of traditional rulers in resolving chieftaincy disputes. The Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, assured the council of improved conditions of service for traditional leaders based on a presidential-approved economic support that will take effect from September this year. He was hopeful the push will aid their operations mainly on settling chieftaincy disputes which impedes development.
As I speak to you, for the chiefs, starting from the chiefs, the president has approved increment for economic conditions of service for the chiefs. Is it third quarter? By third quarter, those economic conditions of service will be delivered to the chiefs. If we don't know anything at all, we know the cause of instability. We know the cause of chieftaincy dispute. We know the cost of organizing research and dissect to deal with chieftaincy dispute.
Director of the Judicial Training Institute, Justice Amadou Tanko, also tasked the council to find alternative means of resolving the many chieftaincy disputes pending the Supreme Court.
I would like the Honorable Minister to take this serious without prejudice to pending matters. Accra is definitely a flashpoint. I'm aware there is something in the Supreme Court coming on either next week or in another week. Why the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs has not been able to determine that dispute, Honorable Minister, is shocking. So we need the Judicial Committee of the Greater Regional House of Chiefs to make a determination one way or the other and stop handling this very sensitive litigation in piecemeal.
Legal advisor of the National House of Chiefs, Alex Obey Asante, stated that they would do their best to work towards solving chieftaincy disputes in the regions.
We are post, we are public service lawyers, we are working, we get paid by the taxpayers' money. So we are not saying we are not working. We are working. We are working. You bring your case, the panel is assembled, we hear you.
Chieftaincy disputes have been a bane to modernization and innovation in some regions. The training told the representatives to break from these acts negatively impacting their communities. For Joy News, Mamavi Sefakote's report read to you.
General Secretary of the governing National Democratic Congress, Fifi Fiavikwete, is calling for a bold, youth-led national transformation anchored in innovation, accountability and inclusive growth. He says Ghana's future hinges on empowering young people to lead the charge across the sectors of economy. Fifi Fiavikwete was speaking during the general meeting of the Tane University of Ghana. There is more in the following report.
At an interaction with executives of the Tertiary Education Institution Network of the National Democratic Congress at the University of Ghana, Fifi Kwete said the youth remain the backbone of the country's future and the need to inspire greater youth participation in national development.
Approaching our 70th milestone, and there's a need for the business as usual to come to an end, for there to be a total transformation in everything we do. And the best group that can do it are the young people, because young people are far more ready to take different approaches and not simply do the things that they've seen done by their grandparents and parents. So they need to understand that we can transform this country better if they stop thinking like the way the thinking has been all these many years and take inspiration from so many examples all over the world. So if they can understand that and take center stage, the country is far, far, far in a better place.
Also at the meeting was CEO of the National Youth Authority, Hosman Abdullahi Ayariga, who condemned the increase in hostel fees at the University of Ghana's Pentagon Hostel, called for an immediate review of the revised fees.
Prices of cement have reduced. prices of labor have reduced, but only University of Ghana, Pentagon, they are saying that due to increase in prices, because of that, they want to increase the prices of rooms is unacceptable. That is unacceptable to the students who are already suffering. It doesn't make sense for you to increase a room from 27,000 to 40,000. It doesn't make any economic sense. And I'll therefore call on the university authorities and also the hostel authorities to have a look at the prices they have published. So they should review the current hostel prices, because it's going to be a serious burden on very innocent students.
The engagement reinforced the critical role of young people in shaping Ghana's future. The youth were challenged to move from the sidelines to the forefront of national development, proving they are not just the leaders of tomorrow, but today. Majid Ibrahim's report read to you.
Labour and Employment Minister Dr. Rashid Pelpo is calling for urgent reforms in Ghana's education system to equip students with the practical skills needed for local production and job creation. He says the shift to skills-based learning is critical to reducing imports, curbing youth unemployment, and driving the government's 24-hour economy agenda. Dr. Rashid was speaking at a job fair organized by Design Technology. There's more in the following report.
As Ghana grapples with the urgent need to reduce its dependence on imports, the Minister for Labour, Employment and Job Creation, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, has stressed the importance of reforming the country's education system to meet global standards. Speaking at a job fair, Dr. Pelpo made a case for the need to shift the focus of education from producing job seekers to nurturing job creators. He noted that by equipping students with entrepreneurial skills, Ghana can significantly reduce its importation of basic goods and empower the youth to produce them locally.
The whole team captures the essence of our national mission to transform Ghana's youth from job seekers into explorers, equipped to navigate their own business and destinies. Skills are a consolidation and a consolation prize. They are tools for self-discovery and part of Ghana's golden ticket to sustainable development and global competitiveness.
Dr. Pelpo also announced that the ministry is collaborating with private institutions to support and accelerate the implementation of this ambitious employment strategy.
I believe DTI is essential and critical, and I have just told her that I want to work with her in my ministry to ensure that the Ghanaian youth is helped to think beyond the ordinary.
DTI CEO Constance Wanika said strong partnership between private institutions are key to equipping young people with practical skills for the job market. She believes such collaboration can transform the youth into confident, work-ready professionals.
80% of the jobs in Ghana will come, in fact, almost 90% will come from the private sector. And so as the engine of growth, what we're saying is that private sector is ready to work with government to create that enabling environment for young people to also find opportunities.
As Ghana charts a path towards self-reliance, the push for entrepreneurship education backed by public-private partnership offers a sustainable solution by empowering young people to innovate and produce locally. The country takes a bold step towards reducing unemployment and driving inclusive economic growth. And that's his report read to you.
Moving on, Board Chairman of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center and Governance and Public Policy Analyst Akwesi Oponfosu has urged political leaders to stop exploiting the youth for political surgery and instead focus on empowering them with opportunities and resources for a better future. He stressed that meaningful change must begin at the top, with political leaders leading by example, creating a system that prioritizes youth employment and job creation and innovation. There is more in the following report.
Speaking of the 2025 Leadership and Government Lecture Series organized by Crossfire Ghana in collaboration with the Tertiary Education Institutions Network TAIN of Ghana Communication Technology University, Mr. Oponfosu emphasized the urgent need to address Ghana's leadership crisis by instilling values of integrity and truthfulness in the youth.
We have to rid ourselves of all that, especially of political violence and thuggery. These are things that we have to bury with the election 2024 and the massive endorsement for change. I hope you are understanding of what we're trying to drive across. We need to do things differently and endear our leadership style to the citizens. Now, citizens are very much discerning. Voters are discerning. They are enlightened.
Echoing the call for action, lead convener of Crossfire Ghana, Nana Osei-Tutu, encouraged young people to be proactive, developing relevant skills and strategically positioning themselves to thrive in an ever-evolving job market.
The issues has been, I've not gotten anything. I've not been sorted. I've not gotten anything. Sometimes they call you and you ask them, can you prepare your CV and give it to me? Then they get angry. That's why should I go and prepare a CV when your campaign did you ask me for my CV? But then we cannot put you at a place that you are not qualified. You understand me? You should have an interest. You should know what you can do. It is not about the fact that your party is in power, so you should be sorted and be sorted. Just be sorted at where? You should be qualified. So we also have to be educating ourselves, advising the youth. You see, yes, your government is in power. Yes, you campaign for the party. Yes, the party will have to sort you out. But the reality is that you should be qualified. And it doesn't also mean that go to the ministries and go and work. At least you can farm, you can do so many things. And that is what we should be encouraging. That you want to do business, I want to do this, okay, SME support, let us support them to also do something. Those are the things that we should focus on.
The event, themed A Conversation on Resetting the Nation, aims to equip young people with the tools, knowledge, and motivation to take an active role in governance and national progress.
And Ghana continues to battle rising cases of child marriage and gender-based violence. According to the 2021 Population and Housing Census, over 120,000 children aged 12 to 17 were either married or cohabiting, while nearly 30% of Ghanaian women have experienced physical abuse. In response, the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, in collaboration with UNFPA, has trained 120 traditional council registers in Tamale to tackle these issues within their jurisdiction. Here is more in this report.
Traditional authorities, according to the ministry, play a critical component of every society's governance. Therefore, they need to train them to help in the fight against gender-based violence. Speaking in an interview on the sidelines of the training, Deputy Director and Head of Religious Affairs Unit of the ministry, Richard Obing, said traditional leaders play a critical role in addressing these harmful practices.
The role of traditional and religious leaders is vital and key in bringing down this menace or this issue in our society. And so once our registrars are involved in the affairs of our traditional and religious leaders in the various traditional areas, there is the need to engage them there is a need to train them, and there is a need for them to be informed so that they can make appropriate referrals and they can also respectfully assist our traditional leaders in their decision and in their activities around this issue.
The Regional Gender Officer of the Upper West Region, Chiefty, explained that gender-based violence manifests in various forms, including emotional and sexual abuse.
When we talk about issues of sexual and gender-based violence, sometimes people will be looking out for the physical things that will indicate that you have been hurt, but we have various forms. Looking at emotional abuse and also sexual. This happens in our communities on a daily basis, and there are statistics or data that is backing it. As we speak, annually as a country, the data we've gathered from our investigative units with the Ghana Police Service, we are recording about 1,500 cases annually, which is not good for us as a country. It is about time we say no to sexual and gender-based violence, and also ensuring that our men, women, everybody enjoy some form of equal freedom, and then also exhibiting their full potentials, no matter the space they find them.
And now let's step into the Volta region in Aflao, to be specific, a bustling border town where hope often wears a mask. Residents are being warned human trafficking is no longer a distant threat. It's here and it's real. The Ghana Immigration Services Anti-Human Smuggling and Trafficking Unit, in collaboration with the International Center for Safe Migration and local faith-based organizations, is leading a new awareness campaign titled Amuga, which means My Life Matters. The initiative targets students, traders, and transport operators, urging them to prioritize human life over quick profit. Ivy Setoji has more.
The Amuga Advocacy campaign, a joint initiative by the Ghana Immigration Services Anti-Human Smuggling and Trafficking in Persons Unit and faith-based organizations like the Handmaid of the Divine Redeemer Sisters Foundation, targeted border communities with education and awareness on trafficking risks. From TV and radio engagement to school outreaches, the campaign reached over 700 students at the Aflao Secondary Technical School, using drama, poetry, and storytelling to spark conversations about exploitation and resilience. Reverend Sister Regina Ignatia Afla is with the Handmaid Foundation. The Ghana Immigration Service says it will continue collaborating with stakeholders to ensure border communities are safe, informed, and empowered to fight modern-day slavery.
What I want to tell you is that, my dear brothers and my dear sisters, what you saw is real. It is very real. So let us take our education seriously. If not, you'll be taken away and go and be given to, excuse my words, animals like dogs to sleep with you. Or you'll be taken away and they will force you into child marriage. Or you'll be taken away and be used as a domestic servant, that you work and they will be paying your masters, that is those who sent you there. I am very sure that our brothers who work at the border will share with you. Young girls like you, as you saw in the drama, are being taken away for prostitution. And if you refuse, you'll either be killed or you'll be given to dogs to use you.
Justice Kuju Nomeshi, Deputy Superintendent of Immigration, is officer in charge Anti-Human Smuggling and Trafficking in Persons Unit, Aflao Sector Command and focal person for the International Center for Safe Migration.
And so as July is set aside as the month to commemorate human trafficking and create awareness about the menace, the Anti-Human Smuggling and Trafficking in Persons Unit, together with our partners, we are creating awareness on the menace. We are telling the citizenry that people are taking advantage of the migration process and depriving people of their rights, bringing them into servitude. I mean, they are doing all sorts of illegalities, trampling upon the fundamental human rights of people. And so we are raising our voice against the act of human trafficking, against the act of human smuggling, against the act of child marriage, and against the act of domestic servitude within border communities. We are telling the nation that, and we are telling all prospective travelers and travelers that before they travel, they should be sure of where they are going. They should inquire. They should not just fall for sweet talks that people are offering them opportunities that do not exist.
Ivy Setoji, joining us, Aflao.
Let's stay in the Volta region. Work has officially commenced on the second phase of the Blekusu Coastal Protection Project in the Ketu South municipality of the Volta region. The 8-kilometer sea defense initiative is designed to shield coastal communities like Blekusu, Agavaji, Salakope, Amutinu and Adina, which have long suffered the destructive force of tidal waves. At a sword-cutting ceremony on Friday, President John Dramani Mahama, along with the Minister for Works and Housing and the MP for Ketu South, reaffirmed the government's resolve to safeguard vulnerable populations and restore livelihoods. President Mahama called the project a symbol of responsive leadership and his government's commitment to tackling a crisis that has lingered far too long.
In addition to the coastal protection works, we're incorporating community infrastructure that will boost the local livelihood of our people. And this includes a modern fish market, cold storage and processing facilities for the fisher folk, fish drying and places for smoking fish, a car park and a lorry station, public sanitation facilities will also be provided, and a waste collection system will be put in place. So this is more than just a coastal protection work. It is a comprehensive resilience initiative, blending environmental protection with socio-economic infrastructure. Togbiwo Mamao, to ensure the success of this vital project, we must all play our parts, and therefore I call on the Ministry of Works and Housing and Water Resources, the Ghana Hydrological Authority, the Kedu South Municipal Assembly, the contractors and consultants, and above all, the chiefs and people of the beneficiary communities to work together in unity and purpose to achieve this all-important project. I wish to inform you also that the Waka project is currently awaiting approval at the Ministry of Environment. The Waka project will take care of the rest of the coastline after where this one ends, all the way to Aflao, and it will have it will help to protect the coastline all the way to Aflao. It will have beach replenishment, and so the beaches will be expanded and the sea will be pushed back so that we can have more activity. Togbiwo Mamao, the sea has taken a lot from this community. It has taken land, it has taken property, it has taken livelihoods, and it has taken our peace of mind. But today I stand here to say, no more will the sea consume our land. We're here to reclaim what has been lost, to rebuild stronger, to offer our children a future where they are not forced to flee their homes because of rising tidal waves. This project and others like it reflect my government's broader commitment to building a resilient and inclusive Ghana, where no citizen is left behind.
Action.
Okay.
Currently, the conductor has been able to stabilize the road as we stand here.
Yes.
You can see this building just behind here was almost gone.
Okay. No, thank you. This is a very important project.
Yes, sir.
And on behalf of the people of K2 South, yes. We implore you to expedite it as quickly as possible.
Your Excellency. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the kind of destruction
exactly
it has been causing. And I want to assure people in other parts of the country that are facing the same problem, but that, I mean, one by one, we will tackle them.
And we're joined on Zoom by our Volta Regional Correspondent, Ivy Setoji. Thanks for joining us, Ivy. Has government given any timelines for the completion of this project?
Well, according to the president, that will be 4 years from now to 2029 for the project to be completed.
And what else can you report for us, Ivy?
All right, so yesterday, the people of the those communities, that's the Agaveji, Mochino, Salakope, and the environs were excited about the news, the shortcutting, but also some other residents from the Amuga district, that is the Popobo and those areas, especially Popobo, which is almost gone to the state. They are also asking the president to do something in that area too, because that place is also needed and is really, really damaged by the sea.
Should I read this one? Any timelines for the
something in the K2 South municipality? He should be able to do something in the Amuga district, specifically in the Popobo and the Fuvame area. So yes, the people are happy, but they are also asking for more in the Amuga districts as well.
And that was Ivy Setoji, our Volta Regional Correspondent. Thanks for that update, Ivy. And so we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Tackle them.
Welcome back. You're still on Joint Newsroom. My name is Sheila Sechi. Moving on, a tropical forest biologist, Dr. Bismarck Ofosu Bamfo, is calling for urgent collaboration between researchers and key stakeholders to tackle the growing threat climate change poses to Ghana's forest. At a phenology dataset dissemination workshop in Sunyani, he warned that without targeted data collection on how climate change is altering natural cycles, efforts to protect biodiversity and restore forest ecosystems could fail. Precious Semevo has more.
The tropical forest ecosystem remains an important source of food and medicinal resources for humans, wild and domestic animals, and a source of raw materials for buildings, among others. The supply of these materials is sourced from leaves, flowers, fruits, and other forest biomass. However, they are under threat from climate change, with limited data available for restoration plans. At a dissemination workshop in Sunyani on phenological data set for ecological forecasting, Dr. Bismarck Ofosu Bamfo, a tropical forest biologist at the University of Energy and Natural Resources, said they have monitored 186 species and 1,700 plants.
The main objective for the project is to document the events for flowering, fruiting, and leaf production in our forest. Because, for example, if we have some trees, maybe Odum, Militia, and others, people may be looking for seeds of those plants, right? From our data set, we could find the timing of those resources, fruiting or carrying. So we can then generate the data products that then will be useful for the forest resource managers. And our data set has that information.
Professor Dr. Raul Zurita Miller from the Department Department of Geoinformation Processing, University of Twente, Netherlands, said applying phenology data could also be useful for agriculture.
If you involve the people like today with this dissemination workshop, then we're getting in touch with stakeholders and they get to know the data. And the people that were curious and in the forest and monitoring the trees, they will understand better and they will see with their own eyes what is happening with nature. Farmers, they will understand how seasonality is changing and maybe prevent crop failure and understand better also the productivity, because if because of climate change the season gets shorter or longer, this will influence the yield, crop yield. And policymakers, I think they need to understand the importance of involving society and scientists together, and they will understand that climate change is a reality.
Dr. Bismarck of Osubanfo appealed for partnership with stakeholders to help mitigate the impacts of climate change on the natural environment.
My appeal will be to stakeholders like the Ghana Met Agency. Tracking phenology is one practical way of looking at the implications of climate change on our natural environment, and so it's important that they partner with research institutions like ours so we can do this in the long term.
And in other stories, Accra is set to roll out a fleet of electric buses under a new partnership with the U.S. city of Savannah, Georgia. The initiative forms part of ongoing efforts to improve urban mobility and cut down on carbon emissions. The announcement was made by Savannah Mayor Van R. Johnson II during a courtesy visit to the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Nana Kwesi Asare Boateng reports.
The collaboration between Accra and Savannah, Georgia is beginning to yield real results. The partnership, formalized in February 2024 through a virtual signing ceremony, is focused on deepening collaborations in urban planning, tourism, education and sustainable transport. Accra Mayor Michael Kpakpo Aloti announced during this visit plans for Accra to procure electric Metro Mass buses with support from Savannah-based investors.
You know, if we watch electric buses, one, we're going to have a cheaper fares, and it's good for the environment. And secondly, if we have the electric buses, a lot of people would love to be on it. You know, anytime there's something new, people want to come on it. So I'm looking at that. One, we're going to have cheap way of transport. Secondly, we're going to have what do you call it? We're going to have create a lot of jobs. So what I'm saying is that we should look forward to this metro bus that we're looking forward to have. And when my brother here said he has a company called Hyundai that they're in Savannah, that they're going to talk to them. So very soon I'll go there and we'll see how best we can bring them to Ghana to set up. Thank you.
Savannah Mayor Van Johnson, who led a delegation including city officials and private sector partners, expressed admiration for the AMA's leadership and vision. He commended Accra Mayor for embracing bold initiatives that benefit the everyday commuter.
Here, first of all, the reception has been absolutely amazing, and I'm glad to finally meet this dynamic and exciting mayor who has such a vision for the people of Accra. He's bold, he thinks big, and that's the only way things are going to be done.
The visit marks the final stop in the delegation's multi-city tour of Ghana, which included Cape Coast and Kumasi. As both cities continue to explore opportunities for cooperation, officials say the electric bus deal is only the beginning of a broader development agenda. Nana Kwesi Asare Boateng's report for Joy News.
Educationist and founder of the Santa Barbara School, Barbara Afola Samoa, is advising parents to monitor and restrict their children's use of social media. She says while social media has its benefits, excessive use can be harmful, and parents must take steps to block access to inappropriate websites. Speaking at the 20th anniversary graduation speech and prize-giving day at the Santa Barbara School in Tema, Mrs. Afolasamoah stressed the importance of tough love in parenting. She acknowledged that many parents deeply love their children, but often struggle to firm out of fear that setting boundaries might affect their bond.
I think that social media, as much as it has its positives and negatives, I mean, the positives can be used by children to do a lot of research work, expand their knowledge base on different items. But I'm more particularly concerned because the children are not using it in that line. They are spending time streaming to sites that are not beneficial to them at this point in their lives. And they are staying up very late at night watching them. So they come to school extremely tired. And I don't think it's really helping at all. And talking also about parents. Parents must help us in this direction. I think parents should not give them expensive telephones at this point, because I think they are not age responsible at this point and they are not listening to advice.
And we are in NSMQ season. St. Peter's Senior High School has won the Eastern Regional Championship title of the National Science and Maths Quiz for the 4th time. After a tough first round, the school took control and dominated the rest of the contest. Advocacy has more in this report.
163.
Three schools won enviable championship title. After defending champions KSTS lost their group, Okwapaman Senior High, Pope John's SHS and Minor Seminary, and St. Peter's Senior High fought through the competition and became finalists. Before the contest began, the auditorium was filled with Jama songs from all three schools. After round one, St. Peter's and Okwapaman were tied with 24 points. Pope John Senior High School was in third place with 18 points. St. Peter's answered most of the questions in round two with speed and accuracy. They were then in the lead with 34 points. They were excited. Their contenders, not so much. Unlike their contenders, St. Peter's did not miss any question in round three, and so were still in the lead with 40 points. Then came the riddles. Okwapaman ranked for the first one and got it right. St. Peter's ranked for the second and third and got them right. Although PJ answered the last riddle, it couldn't close the gap Pesco had given, but it did close the gap Okwas had given. So they had to break the tie. PJ ranked and got it wrong. Okwas ranked and got it right.
Oh, we are feeling very excited. We know that this is the doing of the Lord, and it is marvelous in our eyes. We know we couldn't have done this without the help of the Lord, and with the grace of God and the knowledge of God, we have come this far.
We are the best school in Ghana as it stands now. And in Okwapaman chapter 1 verse 5. And I read Semper Primus.
This is our first time coming to this championship, so we say glory be to God, and where we have reached, it is just by God's grace, and next year we are coming back stronger and stronger.
For Joy News, my name is Advocacy.
And all the best to Presco. That'll be all for Joy Newsroom. My name is Shilasechi. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. The law is up next. Good afternoon.